This is a great case where we have to know this formula and use a strategy. So nice and easy. If we know the formula, a circle in the xy plane has its center at negative 4, 5. We can see that they're flipping the positives and negatives in this formula or in the answer choices. So we just need to remember that the formula has x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we just have to think about the fact that the formula itself contains these negative signs, and then we plug the negative in. It's kind of like we take the negative of a negative, and so that becomes a positive 4. So we're looking for a positive 4 here. That's going to get rid of C. That's going to get rid of A. And sure enough, the negative 5 represents a positive 5 for the y coordinate of the center. So that gets rid of those choices. From there, some of you are going to do something. Maybe you learned this in school. I don't know where this comes from, but you understand that the difference now is the radius. Is the radius 25, or is the radius 5, or is the radius the square root of 5, right? Because it's the radius squared here. So, it'd be really weird for it to be the square root of 5, but it could happen. It's not impossible. But we can easily check this without ever having to deal with the distance formula, which is a thing that a lot of people want to go to. I've actually found that you really do not need the distance formula for the SAT. There's almost always a different way to do it, a better way to do it. So if you find yourself going to distance formula, you probably are wasting your time. Now, what we're just going to do here is plug points into equations. We didn't plug the center into the x and y because the x and y are all the points on the outside of the circle. But that's what we're given, right? The negative 8, 8 is on the outside of the circle, on the circumference. So we can plug that one in for the x and y and see what happens. Let's do that in green here. So let's do this. Let's try the answer choice, right? So let's try, well, they're both the same, right? This part's the same. So let's just do that. So negative 8 plus 4 squared plus y is 8 minus 5 squared. So what does that equal? Does it equal 5 or 25? Let's see. Negative 8 plus 4 is 4. So 4 squared and 3 squared. So that's 16 plus 9 is 25. That one is the 25. That's what I thought it was going to be, but now I have proof. So notice the distance formula, we're not really doing it because basically what the circle formula is the distance formula. So it's kind of doing it for us, but we don't need to worry about that. It's better to just think plug points into equations. The weird thing about the circle equation is we're very focused on the center of the circle. That is definitely an important part of the formula, but the x and y in that formula do not represent that point. That's very different from a lot of our other equations, like the vertex for a parabola, right? That's a very important point as well. But the vertex of a parabola is on the parabola, so it fits into both the vertex form of a quadratic equation and into any of the x's and y's in any other version of that same quadratic. So it's a little different, but if you get comfortable with it for circles, you're good whether they give you the center and we need to think about the h's and k's, or whether they give us a point and we can just plug points into equations and let the x's and y's solve it for us.